Hi, Yvonne.
Hi.
Would you like to share your story about how you came to the decision to continue breathing normally through your nose?
Well, I'm a health coach and personal trainer for 32 years, so I'm pro health, and I just know intuitively that breathing through our nose is pretty much what we need to do to live well. Pretty basic. Pretty basic.
And so, what do you say to people who are preventing you from breathing through your nose and building immunity naturally?
What do I say to them is,
Feel good stuff.
oh boy, I say a lot to them. I just say that we need to return back to nature. We've gone so far off track with all the chemicalized processed foods, toxins in the water, in the air, and in the foods that we eat, well, non-foods. We've just moved so far away from nature, and we need to return to, believing that we have innate immune systems that protect us and keep us healthy and strong, and believe and trust in that a little more.
So, natural immunity is innate to human health.
Of course. Yes, to all of us. Yeah.
What are you doing to try to make people aware of your human right to breathe normally?
What are we doing? Well, I joined this group, Hugs Over Masks, the best decision I've made in the last few months. And so we basically have an education platform informing people about what's really going on here outside of mainstream media. And I really have found that when I speak to supervisors and managers of banks and my dentist and just many shops, they just are not aware of mask exemptions. So we're also letting people know about mask exemptions. People just don't have the information. That's what I'm finding. Unless you're really researching, they don't have the information. It's a one-sided story that they're hearing, so we need to hear the other sides to be able to make informed decisions.
So, you're saying that natural is normal.
And natural is the normal. Natural is the normal. I'm Portuguese, so raised on a Mediterranean diet. My parents are elderly. They still they have 4 vegetable gardens. They pretty much eat every day, all year round, from their vegetable gardens. So I'm definitely pro-natural. We need to go back to that. We lost our way, and the governments are not helping.
Do you think that accounts for some of the thinking processes? People are so out of touch with their body and the natural state of health
So out of touch.
that they have separated their mind completely to the point where it's technological solutions such as vaccination is the only option to natural immunity.
Absolutely. I often say, when you hear about healthcare, what we have presently, in North America, I can say, is really sick care. And the government and Big Pharma drives a sick care system. We are not anywhere near, true healthcare. We have moved so far away. 80% of the population is overweight or obese, North American population. 100 million people are pre-diabetic or diabetic in the U.S. 50 million people with autoimmune conditions. Kids are more sick than they've ever been. So I would not be so pro-vaccine because they're not regulated at this point. They're contaminated, they're not regulated. So that's a problem.
And if you do have a problem, there's no litigation. They're exempt from litigation.
Right. So that's, I guess, the Reagan Act came out in 1986, which states that all manufacturers are immune from any liability. So that's not great. And then we noticed that the vaccine schedule went way up. So children under the age of 18 or kids under the age of 18 in the States today get 72 shots. So in the 60s or 70s, I think it was 3. So they've really made a huge business out of the vaccines. So
Right. And then when you add the layer of oxygen suppression or suffocation,
yeah.
the oxygen is one of the key healers for the body.
Yeah.
If they don't even have that, what option do they have for improving their health?
Absolutely. We need to breathe. We need to trust our innate immune systems, and we need to just return to nature, as I said earlier. Yeah.
And so the thing about how people are saying, well, the government just wouldn't do this to us. Why would they be saying this if it wasn't true? Why would they do this? And I say, yes, why would they do this?
Yeah.
But if you think that somebody poisoned your water, would you trust them?
Right. Which they have done. And then I was just saying to some people that walk by that the amount of processed chemicalized foods on our shelves today, which governments support, they allow the food companies to continue, and knowing that like a daily consumption of these processed foods can lead to cancers and other diseases, and they continue to open the door wide open for these items to be on our shelves, and that's not okay. Like, I stopped trusting government when I really connected with those stories.
What do you think will happen if people go with the Darth Vader option of, like Fauci says, even after the vaccination, people will still be required to wear masks? How do you conscientiously support something that is driving a direction that is increasingly artificial and separating human beings in terms of their communication and their facial expression? Expressive system of the hands, face, and vocal cords is being covered and modified, so you don't see what they really look like. They don't see what their emotion is. What do you think the end result of that?
So what I believe is that we are basically going to be, if they have their way, we're going to be robots. We're not hugging. We're not in community. We can't breathe, fresh air. We need to be behind the mask, according to them. They're going to inject people, and there is no regulation on the vaccines, so who knows what's going to happen to us, So I just feel like it's like we will literally be robots. No emotions, no facial expressions, no real connections, no intimate connections.
So if children never see the expression of another human being, how are they going to know what the face looks like?
You can't connect with somebody. I mean, if I walk in everywhere without a mask, I've never worn a mask, and I won't. And in fact, when I'm dealing with some service people, I ask if they can drop their masks for me because I can't hear them and I can't connect with them. So that really matters to me. Connecting. We need to move back to the very basics of humanity and human beingness, right?
So we really have to start defining what a human being is.
Yes, we have forgotten. We are forgetting quickly.
That we are not just physical beings. We also have an emotional realm. We have a mental realm, of course.
Spiritual realm.
And spiritual realm.
Yeah. I think this is a great awakening. I think some people are waking up to that, and that it's been missing. We moved away from everything that is great. We really have. So as a collective, but I think we're gaining ground individually and
communities.
Yes.
By connecting with people in a real way, authentic way.
Yes.
Rather than on basis of rules and regulations from the outside, which doesn't really make sense. Doesn't make sense.
Right.
And yet we're told that you're a bad person.
Right.
Apparently the G5, Elon Musk, who he is.
Yes.
He is putting thousands and thousands of
5G.
satellites, 5G satellites, and at a certain point, because it's on the Ethernet, connects with the human brain, the electromagnetic energy.
Yes.
And
so that's just an extension of what we're talking about, right? So we literally will be robots. No emotional connections. Our brains are going to be, I believe, altered. I think it's already happening with the 5G. So We need to bring this
I'll
back.
say, and I'll say, oh,
We need to bring this back to God's earth, God's land, water, and remember that.
Who created your body?
God. My loving God.
Who created my body?
Hopefully you're a loving God.
Since I didn't create your body, do I have a right to tell you how to, what you know instinctively is necessary to improve your health?
No, it's
Breathing.
Not, it's not okay. No, it's not okay. We need to take the masks off. I do respect if somebody really, is in tremendous fear and they need to have the mask on, but I would say masks off. It's a psychological operation. I noticed that the government basically they didn't just say, wear a mask, to the people. They said, wear a mask because it will save others. So that's the psychological operation, creating this tremendous, paralyzing people with fear, really.
And yet, to save yourself, you need to build immunity.
Of course.
But because they say it's safer, just for that reason, they don't give a reason. They just say it's safer with no valid
Science,
nothing
to back it up. It really has been fear-mongering. Right from day one, my intuitive hunch was, this is fear-mongering. Right off the bat, I said, something's wrong here. So, and then I was so lucky to find all these people and hugs over masks, and I just love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's such a relief to actually connect on a meaningful way with people that are thinking logically.
Yeah.
Because during the time of Aristotle, one of the things that happened in Greece, a group came in called sophists who would talk around in circles.
Right.
So that there was no way to achieve agreement, because as soon as that happened, democracy was destroyed. Fascism, totalitarianism had to come in because there was no basis for making decisions.
Right. So it's upon us now. Fascism is upon us now. Many don't recognize it yet, but it's here. It's not coming, it's here. So we're trying to put an end to that.
Thank you, Yvonne.
You're welcome.